So my name is Joan Mulligan and I'm a mother, an Irish mother and grandmother, and I'm over here trying to get people from the European Parliament and the world to know what's going on in Ireland. And because it's been censored by the media and it's been censored by the Irish government. So we're here to get it out there, to the destruction that's going on in our country, in Ireland.
Hi, my name is Amanda Reddington. I'm from Ireland. I came here today to Brussels to try and get a message out to our Irish government at home, who have, especially our local TDs like Joan Collins, Hazel Denarton, Dottie Doolan, Angus O'Shaughnessy. All of these local TDs were supposed to represent the people in the local communities. When we went to them about our concerns about unvetted men or men in general, saying in our schools that are functioning, and that we know that Peter Burke, who signed these schools over, has no conscience. There's no conscience in regards to this. I'm a mother, I'm a woman, I'm a grandmother and I'm a wife, and I'm very concerned for the influx of men arriving in Ireland.
Just we're here as concerned parents, grandparents and just grassroots people of Ireland, and we've been labelled as far right. We're being forgotten as having our own minds and freedom of speech about what's actually really going on in our local communities. We're not being listened to, we're not being addressed as to who is moving into these buildings. These buildings, I might add, are not fit for human use. Currently in one of the buildings, there's 500 men, the women have been taken out, and there's 23 toilets that are being used amongst 500 people. It's not, you wouldn't put animals into that. Now, that's not my concern, that's the concern of the government. But the issue is here is that these people are coming into local areas and they're causing havoc, they're stealing, they're approaching young children, they're being inappropriate, they're being taken into the Garda station and then they're being released. Hopefully by all the media platforms that have approached us today with our concerns, although it's a different conference today, they are actually interested as to why we're here. So we're hoping to bring this across the world.
What I want to ask you is, we're all over here, there's a lot of us over here from Ireland, and we came over because of what's going on with the Irish government. They're refusing to acknowledge what we feel about the migration issue that we have in Ireland. So no government, our government won't report it, so we've been on protests and stuff like that. And it's not that we welcome refugees, we welcome genuine refugees, women and children that are fleeing war into Ireland. But the undocumented, unvetted male military age migrants that we're getting is what we're getting more than that.
So as a society, it's a Christian principle, to be open to those who are fleeing war and stuff like that. It's okay, we'll do that. Yeah. But it's our choice. It should be our choice.
Yes, as people.
How, when, to whom, we do that. But they want to change that. They want to kind of erase our borders. They want to erase all the crossing points. Nobody's checked and nobody's verified. Once someone is arriving here, they have the right to remain here and bring all of their families. That can't happen. It's absurd. It's not. First of all, it's not feasible economically, socially, culturally. Why do they have to all come here?
Exactly.
Why?
Yeah, that's
They're calling Ireland Treasure Island.
The most important thing is for you guys to organize. It's very important. Then identify candidates, because you need faces. People have to put their vote on someone. Okay, then run for offices.
Yeah.
Don't if someone says, well, you are right wing or left wing or whatever leaning. Look, this is not about right or left. It's about right and wrong. And everything that they do is clearly wrong for the following reasons. Okay. So you're telling me, I'm looking what is happening in the UK as well. It's like, I see conservatives. There's no difference between conservatives. No. That's everywhere. Yeah. That is everywhere. Yeah. And it was a plan to conquer both sides of the aisle. Yeah. For you guys in that part of the world. In our case, it's a little bit different because we don't have any two parties. Yeah. We have multiple parties, and then people have more options. Well, at the end of the day, you have to come up with a party that says, this is who we are, this is what we stand for.
The freedom of speech laws that we have in Ireland at the moment are trying to really clamp down on their right to freedom of speech, which is a big issue. And we're fighting back on it, but they're really passing through legislation in the Dáil. How do you feel about that?
Well, if you look historically, every tyrannical system was implemented firstly by tearing down the freedom of speech. Because when the media is not able to share the truth, when people are afraid to speak up their mind, then, fear is gonna spread among society. And then when you're afraid and you're trying to, cover yourself to feel secure, and then you don't want to say anything bad about the government. But it's exactly like during the darkness. You can have the worst darkness in the world. It's enough for one person to turn on the light.
The light. Exactly.
The question is, are you that light?
Yes.
And you have to be.
Yeah.
If you really want to bring light back in Ireland, you're the one lighting it.
Christine, so I've come over with a group of people from Ireland. We've come over here because our Irish government are not listening to us. We have a problem with huge migration problem, which I know is global at the moment, all over Europe. And we just want to ask Brussels, the people in Brussels, what can we do? What can you advise us to do in this instance that the government are not listening to the people?
Well, that is actually a really good question. And unfortunately, I have to tell you, you are not alone. Because, quite frankly, at this point, there is not a single government in the world, especially in the Western democracies, that listen to the people anymore. Especially the Western democracies, they are all in lockstep. And they seem to be determined to implement whatever globalitarian agenda they're running right now. But that seems to be the case. So, but when you look at various issues, COVID is just one thing, like I said, the test balloon pretty much, but there are so many other issues like transgender, the climate change, and then the Green Deal and all of this, fighting hate speech, So these are all like euphemisms to hide what they're actually trying to do. Or the implementation of some kind of a plan. It's never about making people's lives better, improving their quality of life, or even reducing their carbon footprint. It has nothing to do with any of that. It is about control, and it is about pretty much enslaving and impoverishing all people around the world. So quite frankly, I have no idea what advice I could give you, because we are all in the same boat pretty much. I have the same problem with the German government. And it's not only that they don't listen, on top of that, they mock the people. Downright mock the people. So EU level, this is like the mockery, taken to the very next level. The EU Commission is not even elected. Why do you expect them to look out for the people? 705 MEPs in this house, the vast majority, they are so grateful that they're part of the club, so they would never jeopardize that.
We've protested and we've protested at the airport. And protesting at the airport, stopping people coming into Ireland, not stopping anybody going on holidays or anything like that. That made an impact, and that was the only kind of thing that the media did pay attention to. But I know elections, try and change the government and all that, but the next elections in Ireland are in 2024. Until then, what do we do? Do we keep protesting? Do we, try and convince the government that we, the people, as you've said yourself, the psychological damage that has been done over the past 3 years is horrific, and there's not. That's very evident in Ireland. You can see so many people. If it's on the news, it's true. If it's in the paper, it's true, and they don't believe it unless it's on the news. And I understand it's all over Europe as well.
I know. I mean, we're up against a very determined and highly funded entity, or whatever, you know, the globalitarian elite is what I call them, a lack for, you know, knowledge who actually are these people. What might actually work. So we are up against that. So, but look at, you know, in the Irish National Parliament when they take votes, you know, go through them. You know, every single issue that, you know, we are considering to be implemented not for the people's own good, but to control them. Go through them. Make a list. Who are the MEPs or the MPs who voted for that? Get a record, you know, put it out on social media. Do the same thing with this place here. You know, look at all the Irish MEPs who voted for what and who didn't. And get the people to understand. Because if they continue to vote for these people, then nothing will change. It's as simple as that. So, and protesting,
30
obviously.
Of us, obviously. And then 30 of us have come over here for this reason, like to say, like, people are saying, we're looking for change, what do we do? Well, this is different. We're doing something different. We're coming over here to highlight the fact that the government's not listening to the Irish people. So, you know, we're looking for somebody else to listen to us.
And, you know, another